Yes. Go. Peter, Pumpkin Eater. Stu is the mic. Stu is the mic.
Hello and welcome to Electric Football. With you as always, I'm Stu Pace.
And I'm Steve Brown.
What the hell was that?
That was my Peyton Manning.
Oh.
I'm sorry. So
this was my Peyton Manning.
A little bit of news. Yeah, after last night. A little bit of news. The Electric Football Playoff Challenge will live on, but not with us because I'm lazy and got a new job and too busy. So Gio Knows has volunteered to take that over for us. God bless him. And
Gio knows.
Hopefully he'll set it up any damn way he wants.
Yep.
We came in dead last, and I washed my hands of it. All right, let's get
Judas.
Yeah, Judas Brown. Let's get to the games.
All right, we got the Packers Lions to start with. It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, you sexy people.
And you non-sexy people like me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, where's my hat? Oh, well. Huh. My thuggin' look is gone. I'm sick, so bear with me, folks. Let's see. So this is the one Thursday that there actually should be games. They've jacked it up to 3 games, but that's fine. We've got Green Bay at the Lions, and the Packers are floundering without Aaron Rodgers. There's a big surprise. Mm-hmm. They managed to flounder their way to a tie with my sister kissing Vikings. Thank you very much, which will probably ruin our chance for a low draft pick.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that I don't know what I like. I like the Lions in this. I just changed my mind right there, folks.
Wow, really?
Even though they lost to Tampa Bay at home, Thanksgiving, I'm taking the Lions.
All right. Well, it's a great way to start the holiday. It's the best game of the day. Unfortunately, it's the first game of the day. The Lions are stating that we control our playoff destiny. That's what teams that lose a lot say.
Yeah.
We control it.
We still control it.
I'm taking them home here because it's Thanksgiving, and I like Detroit here. If Aaron Rodgers were playing, it'd be Green Bay. But
no
it's
doubt.
The Lions.
All right, so the Raiders at the Cowboys, and McGloin let me down. I gotta tell you. And Romo came through, which is pretty rare. And if you've watched any of these, you know I'm a Cowboy hater, but I gotta say this. They were getting screwed around on some calls in that game, too, and they still won.
Crappy officiating this year.
Well, another rant. Last time I talked about when a catch should be a catch. Now I'm going to talk when a incomplete should be a catch, or something like that. What's his name? Des Bryant.
Yeah.
Catches the ball, goes down, lands on his knee, goes down, his body hits the ball, drags it out, and they call it incomplete. And now a catch is a process.
Yep.
Help me. Once your knee hits the ground, aren't you down?
In every other rule of the game, yes, except with the reception. It's just ridiculous.
Happened in the Dolphins too with Clay on the sideline.
Well, besides the fact that the guy decapitated him, is Luke Ketchley allergic to penalties? They don't penalize this guy? The frig.
Okay, I think we're talking about 2 different plays, but
no, the guy he got hit. Clay got hit going down. He got assassinated in the head.
Was that Keckley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Assassinated in the head.
2 weeks in a row, this guy gets away with murder.
This cold has assassinated me in the head. Anyway,
the medicine, baby.
The Cowboys surprised me. They took down the Giants. We did not know that Hakeem Nicks was going to have this mysterious abdominal issue that seems to have ended his favor as one of the New York wide receivers. They sat him in one of the biggest game of their season.
So
if they wanted to have a shot at the playoffs realistically. So Tom Coughlin's tough, and it really benefited the Cowboys. They were able to move their coverage. Scandrick over to cover Cruz. I think he had 1 catch and he fumbled that. So I'm going with the Cowboys. I think they've got a little momentum here.
Yeah, they come home for the holiday, short week, but they've got some great momentum. That was a big win. The Raiders shouldn't put up too much of a struggle, I don't think. And, as they're starting to say in Oakland, glowing, gone.
Nice. Steelers at Ravens.
Where's this camera point?
And all of a sudden, Big Ben has found his accuracy meter. I mean, he's hitting Antonio Brown. He's playing well. It was also nice to see Palomalu make a big play. Having said all that, the Ravens pretty well controlled the Jets. They definitely controlled them on the defensive side, and they hit a couple of big plays.
Yep.
I think they'll be able to do the same thing against the Steelers because I think their speed, the wide-out speed against the Steelers' backs is just crazy.
Yeah.
The Steelers are giving up way too much pass yardage, and I believe that's going to happen at least once or twice with Jones and Smith.
Yeah. I think the Steelers have finally awoken. I think it's an opportunity for them to really get into the mix of everything. Each team spanked their last opponent. I mean, neither game was close that they were involved in a win. Now you're going to go to, again, one of the most evenly matched rivalries there has been in the NFL in the last 15 years or so. Ravens, Steelers, pretty much, mirror images. I like the Steelers. I like their momentum. I think Ben has found his rhythm, and I like him better than Flacco.
All right. Well, I would listen to Stu. He did better than me last week. Titans at the Colts. And what to make of the Colts? They have wins against teams like San Francisco, Denver, and Seattle, and then they get blown out by the Cardinals. Very inconsistent, very disappointing to me. I may have overestimated their defense.
I think they overestimated their defense.
Yeah, and I definitely overestimated Trent Richardson or underestimated Donald Brown, however you want to look at it. The Titans, solid team. Fitzpatrick seems to be, getting the job done.
Harvard-bred Beardy McIrish.
He's the second best bearded guy that's going to be talked about on this show.
He's on Duck Dynasty next week.
I won't name the first. This thing's got to go too.
Yeah, really, it's killing me.
Anyway, I don't know what to make of this game. I honestly don't. I think the Titans are going to go in. I think they're going to beat the Colts. I think the Colts, like the Vikings last year, may have been a one-year wonder.
Yeah, I think the Ponies are, finding out that they don't have any luck on defense. He may be on offense, but it's not on defense. Titans, I think, win another close road victory here, and they get one game closer to the division lead. And, Indianapolis' offense the last couple of weeks has been MIA, man.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Okay.
And I should know, Luck's my quarterback in fantasy.
There you go. Jags at the Browns, and,
we picked them.
Yeah, patting ourselves on the back. We did get the Jags last week.
And I did get the cards, you didn't.
Okay, well, you don't have to rub these things in. Anyway, you definitely don't have to rub.
Okay.
We got the Jags at the Browns. We got the Jags last week. I'm taking them again this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns have a mash unit at quarterback, and if it's down to Whedon, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Jags are getting the turnovers they're getting to win these games, but they are. They're getting some lucky bounces, and I think it's going to continue. So you never thought Jags would get to 3 wins. I think they're going to.
Yeah, I think confidence breeds confidence. They're just starting to think, hey, we can play now. We've got a team. MJ, Maurice Jones-Drew is starting to look like he gives a damn, and he's playing, he's running the ball hard. I don't think he's getting a lot of yardage, but he's playing with some emphasis on, running. And not just like, oh, we're the Jaguars. I don't think he'll be there next year, but nonetheless, the upstart, Cheetahs beat the bland Browns. The Browns are playing like their colors. Bleh. Take the Jags.
As a man named Brown, I take a little offense to that.
Bleh.
Anyway, Jags at, not Jags, what am I saying?
The
Buccaneers at the Panthers is our next game.
Good game.
And Greg Schiano is rowing that boat all of a sudden. 3 wins in a row. Might be saving his career with the move to Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
This turns into a great game. Now, I did, laying home all curled in the fetal position yesterday, I did get to watch Miami, Carolina, and I did feel bad for you.
I don't. We suck.
Carolina refused to lose. You had that game, and Carolina refused to lose, and a last-second, touchdown pass to Greg Olsen wins it for him. Cam Newton is playing with a lot of confidence. Their defense is playing with a lot of swagger. I don't think the Bucs make it 4 in a row. I think Carolina takes this one.
I think they're playing the best football in the league right now, Tampa Bay, and in my opinion, they'll find a way to stop Keckley. Maybe Keckley will get a call against him for once this week, and I think that Tampa Bay beats Carolina. Cam was holding his finger. I don't know what happened. Wasn't quite really paying attention. We were having our Thanksgiving yesterday, and I just noticed that they kept focusing on his finger. Didn't have the sound up enough to hear it, so I would watch out for that. And also, he didn't look great, man. I mean, Miami just wilted. I don't know. For the field goal to end this first half, we played 3 guys running and 15 guys in the end zone, but they only had to go 20 yards for a field goal. Boop, they get 3 points. That changed the game. I don't think Carolina's as good as they were. I think they're starting to kind of stumble here. I like Tampa.
I just want to know why I wasn't invited to Sunday Thanksgiving.
It was at my sister's house, and you're not a relative.
Okay. So that clears that question up.
You don't want to go to this Thanksgiving.
We did a DNA test, and it is true. I am not a relative. Anyway, Chicago at the Vikings. And if Benny Cunningham can gash the Bears for over 100 yards, and Zach Stacy can add another 87, and Tavon Martin can take the ball and just motor for 65 on one of the first plays. I got to believe that evidently healthy Adrian Peterson
Yeah, surprise.
and a surprisingly productive Toby Gerhardt, who went for 91 yards on only 8 carries. I got to think we can do it. I'm taking the Vikes to ruin my draft pick. We're at home. It's going to hurt me when they win, but I'm torn. Part of me wants them to win. Part of me wants the first damn draft pick.
Yeah, if you're a fan, you want your team to win. I don't care if you're 2 wins.
Yeah, but
you
I'm
win.
not gonna see them on TV, so it's not gonna matter much.
Well, come here. You can watch it here at the Cosmos Club at Fairlawn. Where we have DirecTV, and you can watch every game.
Yeah, except I'm not allowed. The place discriminates against the Irish.
Honestly, I'm torn because I want another tie. I love ties. We need more ties. But
you almost had another one.
I know. Buccaneers. Bears. Oh man, it's a Monday night, folks. There's a game on tonight that we're not even going to be able to talk about. But lo and behold, another team that isn't playing well. I can't pick the Bears this week, so I'm taking the Vikings.
All right. Patriots at the Houston Texans. And Andre Johnson today evidently said that the Houston Texans suck. So very eloquent by Mr. Johnson. He's much closer to the situation than I am. So apparently they suck. Watching Belichick dare Peyton Manning to beat them last night was a beautiful piece.
That was a big.
Yeah. He's got ones that clank. If you know when he walks, they clank because that was a gutsy move. And in a strange way, it paid off. We're going to talk more about the Broncos later when we get to their game. So I'm just going to go with this. Gronkowski looks unstoppable.
Right.
It really is pretty amazing. Edelman was doing his best Wes Welker impersonation, and Amendola does a pretty decent one himself. Brady, though frustrated all year, is getting the job done. There's no way they lose to the Texans, who are falling apart and evidently suck.
Yeah, they were spotted at, was it 24-0 at halftime?
Yeah.
24-0. And Peyton Manning, no offense, but two of your scores were, one was a defensive score and the other one was they gave you the ball in the 10. If you don't score there, you're not so good. So Peyton Manning, I've been saying all along, I like Brady over Manning here. In the NFL, I would take Brady every day of the week. In this game, 47-0 Patriots. Enough said.
All right. Bye-bye! Surprisingly good one, actually. The Cardinals ripped the Colts apart with their talons. Cardinals have little itty bitty talons, but they're red. But they're sharp.
Like blood.
Nice. Eagles are coming off a bye, I believe. We've got a veteran coach in Bruce Arians versus a rookie coach in Chip Kelly. To me, I think the advantage goes to the Cardinals.
I agree.
I think they're going to be able to run the ball on the Eagles, and the Eagles have the last-rated pass defense. So when Palmer has to throw, I think he's going to be successful.
I'm not in love with the Cardinals' running game, and I'm not in love with their passing game. But I'm in love with their defense right now. They are playing lights-out ball, and Carson Palmer is the type of guy that can do enough to win a game. I think the Eagles, with what do they got, McCoy? And I'm not sure Foles is...
Foles is playing well.
He's playing well, but,
he's playing well enough that Michael Vick said it'd be hard to take him out.
Yeah, but... Vick, please. Anyway, I think the defense on the Cardinals mitigates the offense of the Eagles, and I think that the Cardinals' offense can do enough to win.
There we go.
That's all. It's a close game.
Dolphins at Jets, and I can guarantee you that
play this game?
This is an ugly one. The Dolphins, to me, are still fighting hard. They played up to the level of Carolina, as far as I'm concerned. I know you don't think that. Mike Wallace makes that last grab, they win.
Mike Wallace makes 2 other grabs in the game, and we still have the ball.
There you go.
4th and 3, and with the game close to ending, we're not going for it. You don't have enough confidence in your offense to go 3 more freaking yards, so you miss the field goal, which gives them the ball at the 50, and you lose the game. That's on you, Philbin. That's on you.
They still had a shot at it with that deep ball to Wallace. That was actually very exciting.
And I saw a picture. It's actually in his hands.
It was in his hands. It was an exciting finish to that game. Anyway, I think the Ravens have officially finished off the Jets. I think Geno Smith's confidence gets shaken by the defenses he plays against and by the media and the press that he's got to deal with in New York City. I think people are all starting to scream for Sims because we have a fondness for Sims in New York City.
We don't.
But I liked Phil. Nothing wrong with Phil. gist of it is I think the Dolphins have rallied together at least a little bit. I think the Jets are falling apart. I think the Jets defense is great. If they played on both sides of the ball, I think they'd have a chance. The Jets really appeared to be figuring out ways to get the ball out of Geno Smith's hands early in that game, and that's a real bad sign as far as your confidence in your quarterback. When you're running wildcats and you're throwing it to him instead of having him throw it, bad sign, folks.
I didn't watch that game. I just saw the score just keep ticking against the Jets. But it's the Jets against Miami. At home, clearly the Jets always, confound me. I'm taking the Jets.
Just based on the I'm going to lose theory of sports. They have your number.
Historically, they have our number.
Okay, fair enough. 4-7 Bills at 2-9 Falcons. This is really just a question of which team has quit less. I think the Bills have quit less. I think they.
Well, plus everyone in the AFC East has beaten Atlanta, so why not Buffalo?
Yeah, there you go. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this one. I'm taking the Bills.
Works
at
for me.
Rams at San Francisco, and this has become a fascinating game.
I like this game.
All of a sudden, the Rams have exploded on offense. Their last two games, 38 and 42 points. Tavon Austin has been remarkable.
He figured it out.
Yeah, he even said, this NFL thing's tough.
Yeah.
And then just exploded. Their defense is getting after people. San Francisco has let's see if the Rams can do it against a really solid defense, but they have a lot of problems on offense right now. And the Rams' defensive line is not bad. I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, I am too. They're winning, and they're winning big. I mean, they're not squeaking out victories here. They're smoking teams before halftime. Kaepernick is learning that, it takes more than your legs to win a game here. They're not playing up to their potential. Bolden's been useless, and I have Bolden and Davis. They've had two good games each, I think, but for the most part, they're invisible. Is that on Kaepernick? Is that on them? I don't know, but the Rams have, the Rams have nothing to lose. They're playing hot. I'm taking the Rams till they stop.
All right. Bengals at Chargers, and what a great game Phillip Rivers played.
Wow.
I mean, credit.
That last pass, too, was...
That was a laser, and I'm going to look at my notes because I may not be able to say this right. That was a laser to Ajarotutu, which is suddenly becoming one of my favorite names. That little Danny.
Yeah, I was saying who the blah, 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 ding, 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 ampersand was that?
I think the defensive back was saying the same thing. But River, seriously, I mean,
is that guy on the team? Oh.
Yeah.
Should have covered him.
Who's this guy out of the stands? But Rivers has had a very good season. Andy Dalton is a question mark. He's really the question mark for the Bengals because they have all the weapons around him, and they have, even with injuries to Geno Atkins, they still have a very solid defense. This is a very, very tough game to pick. San Diego at home. Maybe I'm just because it's what I saw last, but I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, I think they've been playing up to their competition, and if the competition's good, they play well. And Cincinnati is a leading playoff contender right now. I don't understand it, but they are. But I think San Diego at home can beat a rested Cincinnati team. I don't think Dalton is all that. The running game is sporadic now. Gio Bernard and Ben Jarvis not rushing like they were in the beginning of the year. They're not so consistent, and I'm taking San Diego. Ride the hot hand.
All right, Broncos at Chiefs, and this game lost a little luster yesterday with some late heartbreaking defeats.
I think it actually added to the luster of the game, personally.
Really?
Well, yeah. This means a lot now.
Oh, it means a lot, but if they both won, it would have been a lot too, and it would have been just a little more exciting.
But they're even now, right?
From my point of view.
Record-wise.
Yeah, but I mean, they would have been if they both won. I'm just saying. I'm
thinking because Kansas City had already lost. So I'm thinking, all right.
I like the olden days when you had dynasties, when you had the Steelers and they were going to go against Oakland in the 70s, and you looked forward to that game for weeks. I rarely do that anymore. Maybe that's my fandom, or maybe that's parody.
Well, because there's too many teams, and
there's that too.
Honestly, there's just too many teams.
So you don't get the big gaggle of Hall of Famers that you used to see playing against each other.
They're leaving for money, and they'll go to a crappy team just that's going to throw them a lot of money.
There you go. This is our rant, folks. And speaking of rants, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. Are Peyton Manning and Wes Welker sort of chokers? I mean, I watched Peyton Manning in college, and he always had happy feet against those Florida defenses, and they always lost. He has not done well in the playoffs. You look at this season, He had the big game against Luck where he's going back to the team that he was the face of, loses. He goes up against Brady year in and year out, loses.
24-point lead, and he couldn't lead them to a win? I mean, it's just unconscionable.
200 and what, like 40 yards from no Sean?
Yeah, 244 yards. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So I don't know how you managed to lose that game, except little Wes Welker with a choked play. He should have said, get out. He should have committed for that ball or said, kill, fire, whatever the hell they say to get the players away. Evidently didn't do it enough. Owned up to it, but he's owning up to an awful lot of mistakes.
Belichick's got a voodoo doll of Welker in his refrigerator, man.
Super Bowl drops, a few drops in this game too that surprised me. So I'm going to throw it out there. If you want to comment, folks, they're great players, but are they not clutch? Whereas a Tom Brady, clutch. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's why Manning is not ever going to be the Tom Brady or the Joe Montana in our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
This could all change if he wins 3 Super Bowls in a row. I don't think that's going to happen.
Looking at him, I don't see it.
Anyway, that was my little rant. They're going against Kansas City. Kansas City lost their 2 best defenders in Houston and Tamba Hali. That's going to change this game. Even at the Chiefs, I don't believe they're going to be able to generate enough of a pass rush without those 2 guys. I think that the Broncos have found that they can run successfully up the middle with no Sean, and I believe they're going to continue to do that. And even though I just accused them of choking, I don't think they're going to choke when they're going against Alex Smith. Big step down in the competition. Chiefs have not shown any explosiveness in the last 2 weeks.
Right. They're a defensive team. They're not an offensive team.
They're a defensive team that lost their 2 best defenders. Yeah. That's going to take you down a step. I think the Broncos take them. I think the Broncos do win the division.
I'm just taking the Chiefs for the revenge factor. I think you get a pumped up Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium. No real reason other than that. I just think the home team. That's it. It's a divisional game. It means the world to both teams. I'm going to give the home team the edge emotionally. That's all.
If it's warm, Peyton's got a chance. If it's cold, he's doomed. Right,
Papa John.
Right, you, Pat? Anyway, we're going to finish up with the Giants at the Redskins. We have not seen the Redskins game this week. Major things could happen that will change this opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to pick, having not seen it, but due to some scheduling issues and holidays coming up, we wanted to get this out today.
Yep.
I think that Hakeem Nicks not playing is worse than RG3 being critical of his teammates. They're having a little spat. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, it's not my fault. But you can get over that in the locker room. When you're benching a guy, when your playoffs are on the line, that speaks of a real problem. I think the Giants, they're talking a good game, just like they talked a good game before the Cowboys. Terrell Thomas, we're going to win this one. Oh, Hakeem Nicks, I'm definitely playing. It's the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Talk didn't get it done. I think they're trying to blow themselves up with a lot of talk, but I don't think they have it left. I think the Cowboys game took it out of them, and I think the Redskins are likely to win, barring any major injuries tonight.
That's my only comment. Barring any injuries, I think Washington at home, under the lights, Giants should win the game. I mean, in all theory, they should win. They've got the better quarterback. Washington's probably got the better running back, but the Giants should have the better defense. They're just not showing that they have the better defense. I'm taking the home team here just because I think maybe Griffin has a week.
We see a lot of the Giants, and maybe that colors the way we look at this stuff, but their defense has not been very good.
No, they haven't.
Other than one big play last week, the week before this week, JPP hasn't done much. He had 1 tackle yesterday in the biggest game of the season. Kiwanuka is taking horrible penalties, just horrible penalties. Justin Tuck showed up. I'll give him that.
Yep.
But overall, their defense, I think we're going on reputation instead of production this year.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Wait, we got another game, man. I know you forgot about it, but I certainly did it. We got the Saints at Seattle, Monday Night Football.
Saints at Seattle.
Steve's not feeling well, so we got Sleepless in Seattle. I mean, Saints in Seattle.
Take this.
It's the battle for the NFC Championship home team game. Whoever wins this is gonna own the home field advantage. Seattle is going to be pumped for this game. I don't care what anybody says. Mortgage your house and take the Seahawks here. The place is going to be deafening. The Saints will limp out of here. They will not get the chance to play at home in the playoffs should they face each other again. And I think Seattle can seal up the NFC Monday night.
A suddenly healthy Seattle at home with the ability to lock in playoff positioning is crazy hard to beat. The Saints are very, very good.
Yep.
Jimmy Graham is having a remarkable season. That little Drew Brees, I love that little mug. And he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I think he is.
But nice guys,
except for the bounty part.
nice. I don't think Drew was going after anybody's
No,
name. I think that was on
he
the
doesn't go after
side.
middle schoolers. He's too small.
As
he kicks my ass.
Have you seen that commercial where he's throwing the laser beams
Yeah.
to the guy? I like that. Or the missiles.
Yep.
Excuse me. Anyway, this game could go either way, but since we have to pick it, I'm going Seattle at home, healthy, a lot of weapons, a lot of speed on both sides of the ball. Think it's too much for the Saints. If it was in the Superdome, we'd be talking a different story.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not.
All right, guys.
All right.
I tried to shut us down before. I'm going to try again, but first Stu has a couple things to say about the Cosmo Club.
The Cosmos Club. I'd like to thank the Cosmos Club, as always, for hosting this great show here. The live audience for keeping it down while we record. The electricity for being on today, and all the technology working. But we do want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. In the grand scheme of things, family is the most important thing in your world, not football. And Steve and I both think that, I believe, that family first. I joke. I would say football first, family second during the season. But it really is family first, football second, safe and healthy and happy to you all.
Or it could just be a tie like the Vikings Packers.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Please subscribe. Please comment.
Enjoy the games.